I hate that word struggle. I don't ever use that word struggle, but I would say yes, ups and downs, because life is that. इतने सारे मिठाई के डब्बे लाती थी, मेरी माँ मुझे पैक करती थी, बेटा मिठाई का डब्बा लेके जाना साथ में, या खाली हाथ नहीं जाते.
Mirchi, पर मेरा नाम है RJ Dnyaneshwari, and today I have with me a very very wonderful woman जिनका काम I have always looked up to. And I love her. Like some people, you know, you can't describe much. You just know that you love them. Although I'm meeting you for the first time, I feel you give such warm vibes throughout all your interviews, throughout all your work. So we all just love you. Welcome to Mirchi, Divya.
Thank you so much to all the Radio Mirchi. That warm welcome that I got was totally overwhelming. It just feels I've come back home. Wow. And with some trophies in my hand, it just felt so beautiful. But I must say, you know, this kind of an atmosphere is what makes you guys who you are, and always celebrating, always festive. And today we are here for Women's Day, so just feels lovely to be here with you. And thank you for having me, Dnyaneshwari. It's really, and your name is lovely.
Thank you so much. You know, I'll tell you a trivia. So when we were preparing questions, and there's so much that we want to know from you, right? So we had to actually pick and select कि यार ये पूछना, but ये तो पूछना ही है, but ये भी पूछना है, और ये सब कुछ इतने टाइम में पूछना है. So we've really like struggled and curated questions.
तो सब पूछ लो, मैं जवाब किसका देती हूँ पता नहीं.
So सबसे पहले, you know, I thought कि people generally start with the journey. कहाँ से शुरुआत हुई? फिर मुझे आपसे पूछना है कि today, like right at this moment, if you were to share any experience or any news with the younger Divya from those days, what would it be?
न्यूज़ तो पता नहीं, एक मैं थैंक यू ज़रूर कहना चाहूँगी. थैंक यू फॉर डे ड्रीमिंग, थैंक यू फॉर स्क्वीजिंग आउट टाइम फॉर योर सेल्फ एंड सेइंग लिसन आई वांट टू डू दिस. आई यूज्ड टू सिट इन माय वॉशरूम, वो जो मुझे छोटी एग्जाम्स के बीच में ब्रेक्स मिलती थी, एंड आई यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज से एंड द बेस्ट एक्टर अवार्ड गोज टू दिव्या दत्ता, and she's launched by Yash Chopra, and this and that, and I used to keep doing that. So I think somewhere my younger self kept manifesting it somewhere to the universe for me to just be in the place that I really wanted to be in. And all I can say is thank you, little girl. You've been lovely for dreaming.
Wow, that's so amazing. We love the Best Actor Award goes to thing. I guess we all should do it every day. Yeah? If that's how it's going to be manifesting, amazing. But you know, Divya, we of course want to know if you always wanted to be an actor. But I also, apart from that, want to know if it had not been for an actor, where would you see yourself as?
Dekho, ever since 4, I wanted to be an actor.
Wow.
I had seen Mr. Bachchan on screen, and I had seen his Khai Ke Paan Banaras Walas, and I had danced in front of my neighborhood children and had told them clap for me because this is your local Bachchan. But through all that, I think I really loved that world, that big screen and everything. And somewhere I came from a family of doctors. So I mean, आज से 25-30 साल पहले, where would have I said कि मुझे actor बनना है? Because we came from very protected backgrounds, and this life wasn't very sure. There's no surety of this field. And to send your child for nothing else, I mean, वो जो होता था कि you know, पता नहीं कैसी दुनिया है ये, and all that is another world. But I think they felt कि it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And I was very good in my studies. I used to top. So they thought कि अरे इसको IAS बनाते हैं. तो मैं जब देखती थी सबको ऐसे, मैं सोचती थी क्या मैं सारा दिन ऐसे बैठ सकती हूँ? नहीं बैठ सकती. क्या मैं फाइल्स में घुस सकती हूँ? क्या मैं वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव जॉब्स कर सकती हूँ? Even though I really love for what they do, I don't think that was my calling ever. And I was very interested in psychology. I was a psychology student, and I think वो psychology अगर मैं actor नहीं, मैं actor ही होती यार. मैं अगर वाला डाल ही नहीं सकती. मुझे नहीं पता मैं और कैसे बनती, but ये तो खुल गया एक दरवाज़ा कि मैं एक talent hunt में आ गई and I got selected. But अगर यूँ ना होता तो किसी और तरह से होता, but होता ज़रूर.
That's so amazing. Yeah. And we can see that passion because I feel इतना प्यार आपको था तभी भी अपने actor बनने से, and with the thought of it, that I guess you just pulled yourself here.
Totally. My uncle was a director, a top director in the 70s, 80s, and सलमान के साथ वो फिल्म लॉन्च कर रहे थे. हमारी गर्मी की छुट्टियाँ होती थी उस वक्त, तो सलमान खान I had a huge crush on. So and plus मैंने खास अपने लिए एक रेड ड्रेस बनवाई.
Wow.
तो आई सेड मैं फ्रंट रो में बैठ जाऊंगी जब मुहूर्त शॉट होगा. तो अभी सलमान की हीरोइन अभी आई आस्क्ड मैं आई सेड हीरोइन हो गई आपकी. एंड आई वाज what 14 15. He said नहीं. And I was little, what do you say, scared of my uncle. थोड़ा सा वो होता ना एक. तो सलमान and Gulshan Grover both were doing the muhurat and I just plonked myself in a place where I was just in their eye line के ऐसे. एंड वो जो कितनी फिल्में देख चुकी थी मैं हिंदी फिल्म, आई ग्रोन ऑन दैम. इट वाज लाइक अभी सलमान दिखेगा और कहेगा ये लड़की मेरी हीरोइन क्यों नहीं है.
Wow.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ. उसने मुझे देखा भी नहीं और मुझे फ्रस्ट्रेट होके अपनी माँ को वो पर्ची डालनी पड़ी कि मम्मा प्लीज़ जस्ट गेट एटलीस्ट अ पिक्चर डन फॉर मी. उसमें भी सलमान ने कुछ खास मुझे नहीं देखा. बट आई एम सेइंग दोज ड्रीम्स वर ऑलवेज देयर that I want to be in this industry. How, when, nobody knew. तो मैं कोई ना कोई रास्ता तो निकाल ही लेती, but आती इधर ही.
एंड इतने सारे बहुत अमेजिंग कैरेक्टर्स आपने अब तक किए हैं. आई नो इट्स अनफेयर टू आस्क कि कौन सा बेस्ट था या कौन सा फेवरेट था. आई वोंट से कौन सा फेवरेट था, बट वन कैरेक्टर दैट स्टेड विद यू अ लिटिल लॉन्गर देन द अदर्स.
Longer than the others. Jalebi, Dilli Che. I know I have received a lot of love for Veer Zara, for Bhag Milka Bhag, but एक एक्टर की जब जर्नी होती है तो ये दोनों जर्नीज तो बहुत सुंदर थी मेरे लिए. लेकिन why Delhi 6 would be I would say the closest is because I kind of left my inhibitions while doing Delhi 6 because I was this very sweet Punjabi Hanji girl and I was given this role which was totally brash role where her body language was different. She was the local hottie, everyone kind of hit on her and तो वो एक एक्सप्लेटिव्स की लैंग्वेज तो वो मुझे सब समझ में नहीं आता था कि मैं कैसे करूँगी. And the entire unit, most of them men, would come and help. So somebody would come and say, "ए तेरे को वो गर्मा गर्म वाली गाली बताता हूँ वो दिल्ली वाली." And nowhere did I feel that I was this woman thronged around by men. कहीं नहीं, because everyone was doing their own work and we were having a blast. And I think what Rakesh Mehra just taught me one thing. I was like ये ज़्यादा नहीं मुझे समझा रहे like a director like do this and do this. Yeah. Why is he not telling me anything? And before my shot, I was very nervous because that was the first time there's Vahida ji, Rishi Kapoor, Om Puri all standing in front of me. And he comes, I'm like, sir, कुछ तो बता दो क्या करूँ क्या? He noticed, observed everything. He says, बस दिव्या को side पे रखते और जलेबी को ले आ. That was such a huge thing he had said. And I realized I'm bringing my G factor, I'm bringing my Hanji and that inhibited shy girl from Punjab who just was very fresh from Veer Zara, but had gotten so much popularity thanks to Veer Zara. But that moment, I just let Divya be and I just got in Jalebi, who was so uninhibited. I don't know कहाँ से मैंने मेरी body language ही बदल गई. It became like this and it was like इधर तक दिखा रही हूँ तो इधर तक आ गए नहीं इसको थोड़ा और नीचे कर लेते हैं. कौन थी ये? I didn't understand. But that day I learned that you should let the character take over, and that for me made Delhi 6 very very special.
Yeah. Do you think there's this moment of vulnerability, Divya, where you like you said कि तब तक you are holding yourself and you know कि अभी भी I am holding, I'm getting the brief but I've not like let myself yet.
Yes.
You think there's that one moment उसके बाद अचानक से किसी का फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता and you're just like in the zone.
तो ये मेरे साथ अब भी होता है where before you've taken on a character और मुझे मज़े तब आते हैं जब मैं वो किरदार करती हूँ जो मैं पहले नहीं कर चुकी.
Right.
So and that makes you more nervous, that brings in butterflies in your tummy and the first 2 days I am very very on the edge because I'm still finding that character. But in finding that sometimes I know कि अभी इसको दिव्या को साइड पे करो इसको आने दो लेकिन वो जो शिफ्टिंग होती है उसको थोड़ा टाइम लगता है. बट वंस दैट कैरेक्टर कम्स इन लाइक I think the latest one I would tell you is Rohini in Dhakad.
Yeah.
I'm nothing like her. I'm nothing like her. And I was very surprised when my director cast me. I said, really sure? He says, yeah, you only. I said, I have not called the wrong Divya. He says, no, you only. So, but when we were doing those scenes, like there was this murder sequence I was doing with that, with Sharib. and so he's bending down like this. Divya would have never done that. So very nicely, I put my shoe on his shoulder, and I just, I don't know what I did, but it was very mean. So I was like, kar to liya, and I could see everyone's expressions changing. I said, यार ये तो कट भी नहीं बोल रहे हैं और अब तो मैंने कर लिया, मुझे पूरा करना पड़ेगा. वो जब हो गया, and Sharif said, ma'am, ये क्या था? And my director said, you mean woman? So I didn't know where that came from, but I think that is always the characters who take over and they know how best can we express ourselves.
Yeah, people would have been like, "Ek minute, does she have some split personality?"
हाँ, I thought so myself कि ये क्या हुआ? मैं तो सोचती थी मैं देवी हूँ.
ये कैसे हो गया? If you were launched right now, which director would you have been loved to launch as?
Two people, Gulzar Saab, Rishikesh Mukherjee.
Oh my God, what is this deadly combination?
So clear about it ever since. I mean, these people, I'm so lucky that I have actually associated a lot with Gulzar Saab recently, with his shows and meeting him, listening to him recite his poetry.
Wow.
I feel very, very fortunate to have done that.
When did you first meet Gulzar Saab? Very curious suddenly about Gulzar Saab and this meeting.
गुलजार साहब से पहली बार मैं मिली थी पृथ्वी में, जहाँ हमने एक दूसरे को आदाब किया था, बस उतना ही. उसके बाद then I was supposed to do an event with him in Indore.
Okay.
So he asked, वो बच्ची ने मेरा काम देखा है क्या? I was like, really? He's asking this? So I just totally went into his room and we were supposed to just go for the event. He said, मुझे मिला दो, मैं देखूं. तो मैं कहा, आपने कहा कि मैंने आपका काम देखा है कि नहीं? मैंने आपकी सारी किताबें पढ़ी, मैंने आपकी सारी फिल्में देखी है, मैं आपके गाने हर वक्त सुनती हूँ और सारा और इतनी सारी मैंने कहानियाँ उनको सुना दी. उनको गुलजार साहब को मैंने बोलने का मौका ही नहीं दिया. He said, अरे ये तो लग ही नहीं रहा कि इससे मैं पहली बार मिला हूँ, तो चलो फिर हम स्टेज पे मजे करेंगे.
When you came here and of course you were selected for a talent hunt, so there was something that you had in hand, but how did you make this place home?
Something ही था वो, मतलब एक introduction हो गई थी मेरी इंडस्ट्री से, but that didn't take away all the. I hate that word struggle. I don't ever use that word struggle, but I would say yes, ups and downs, because life is that. Life is ups and downs. Life is this. So so when I started off, there's a very interesting thing our industry has, that nobody says no. They will always say yes, sure, or batate hain. Because you don't know when you will need somebody. It's business, and I don't blame them at all. That's totally fine. But I was so naive that when I came in, और मैं इतने सारे मिठाई के डब्बे लाती थी, मेरी माँ मुझे पैक करती थी, बेटा मिठाई का डब्बा लेके जाना साथ में, या खाली हाथ नहीं जाते.
वाओ.
तो मेरा एक मिठाई का डब्बा जाता था, इतने सारे मिठाई के डब्बे. तब मैं फ्लाइट में आती थी कि ट्रेन में आती थी, मुझे नहीं याद है, बट डब्बे बहुत सारे होते थे. तो वो मिठाई, आई एम स्टिल नोन फॉर दैट विद दोज ओल्ड प्रोड्यूसर्स. दे से मुझे अभी भी याद है वो मिठाई का डब्बा लाती थी. Who would probably do that? And I look back and I laugh. I was like, यार ये भी क्या है? तो anyways वो लेके जाती थी, and they would say, yeah, we are starting this film, और ज़रूर करते हैं. And as a token, they thought बच्ची प्यारी है and sweet है, and they would just give me a token. मैं घर आके phone, Mama, I have signed 22 films. She's like, really? I said, हाँ Mama, 22. They'll tell me when it starts, but I'm doing. धीरे धीरे करके वो 22 फिल्में तितर बितर, मतलब I would call them again and they would say not starting yet, or gradually whatever. And those 2 films that did actually start had some other actresses in that. So I had never faced rejection because I was very, what do you say, एक pamper होने में और spoil होने में बहुत फ़र्क होता है. तो मैं pampered थी, spoiled नहीं थी. तो pampered थी बहुत, protected थी बहुत. Suddenly I was in this big wide world where I had to actually look after myself.
And you were so good at studies and curriculars. So it becomes a streak, right?
It does. And then, but I was lucky. My mother got me a house. She got me a car. She got me a woman to look after me. And then she said, now do what you want to do. Give it your best shot. And if ever you feel this is not the place you want to belong, you can always come back. There's no pressure. I think it was so amazing that my parents stood by me, being a single mother. I had lost my father when I was very young. She believed in my dreams, however improbable they were.
Yeah.
She believed in those dreams. She stood by me like a rock. And somewhere, I think जब आप काम करना शुरू कर देते हो, धीरे धीरे काम शुरू हुआ. And I started those multi-starters where everyone said, अरे वो जो मनीषा कोइराला जैसी बच्ची दिखती है ना, उसको बुला लो. So 2 songs, 3 scenes I had. This was my career that started off. But I said, नहीं यार, किसी दिन तो they will know that I'm a good actor. Then one day my mother had told me कि भाई, do they know you're a good actor and you won these best actor awards in Punjab? I said, no. So she said, I'm not a producer, I'm not producing anything for you. So what are you going to do about it? I said, Mama, I'll wait, somebody will know. She says, then you can probably wait forever. Or pick on roles that are offered to you and do them so well, not every role, but some role that you think is really nice, and do it so well that actually people start writing roles for you. And then happened Veer Zara for me. And Veer Zara, when it was offered to me, I think was a very unconventional role at that time, because सब जो थे वो बहुत confused हो गए. अब तो हम सब करते हैं.
Right.
You will do a little cameo in something, and then you can also come as a lead.
Yeah.
But a few years back, this wasn't like this. I mean, once you've done something, you are stuck with that image. So when I did Veer Zara, I thought अब मैं शायद अगली best friend बन जाऊंगी. लेकिन
अगली best friend.
मैंने बहुत मेहनत की उसके dialects में, everything. Adi helped me so much. Yash uncle helped me so much. And when the premiere happened and I was holding my mother's hand, I was like, हो गया मेरा, अब ज़ारा की दोस्त बन गई हूँ. लेकिन जब मैं बाहर आई, it was different. I had my own identity. Everyone said, took the name of the character. They didn't say Zara ki dost wo jo thi. They said Shabbo kaun thi. Who was Shabbo? And I think from then on, people started taking notice of me, and in a very unassuming way, my daydreaming happened, that got fulfilled, and I was actually relaunched by Yash Chopra.
Yeah.
So yes, so finally I think when you start working, you find your own kind of people, you find your own kind of movies. That place becomes home.
Yeah.
And hence I think Mumbai became my home.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it is, and I hope that is how it is for the rest of my life.
Yeah. But did you do any such little things? जैसे कि हम किसी भी नए घर में भी जब shift होते हैं ना, we get some of our things so that we just feel like this is a known space and this is my space. तो कोई maybe कंबल लेके जाता है घर से, someone has their own pillow, or someone has a plant that reminds them that, oh, this belongs to me. Did you have any such thing with you that you carried?
You will not judge me for this, right?
No, I will not.
मैंने एक बोतल ली, उसमें अपनी मम्मी का दुपट्टा डाला, वो पूरी खुशबू जो एक माँ की होती है वो डाली, उसको 3 दिन रखा, फिर निकाला, वो बॉटल बंद की और अपने साथ ले आई कि ये वाली खुशबू ज़रूर चाहिए. But yeah, I think I brought all the things that I probably that made my room, my dolls, my clothes, my mother's things, a lot of them. So I felt that I was at home, because I wouldn't think that there was home without mom.
Absolutely. This is so adorable. I mean, wow. You know, I'll tell you a kissa when I used to go to my dadi's place. So I had this biased love for Nani, okay?
होता है.
हाँ? So दादी के घर जब भेजते थे छुट्टियों में, so I used to feel like I'm being forced. मुझे नहीं जाना है घर को छोड़ के, मेरे को क्यों भेज रहे हैं? And I used to miss my mom so much.
Right.
And my daddy used to feel कि क्या बच्ची है अभी, इतना क्या miss करना? It's okay. Like, can't you just stay with us for some days? And I used to be so homesick कि मैं मम्मी की ड्रेस जो मम्मी वहाँ पे आती थी छोड़ने, one day she used to stay and then she used to leave and I used to stay there. तो वो ड्रेस I used to make sure it's not washed. I used to keep it with me just to feel that, oh, she's around.
I hear you completely.
So I felt it so, oh my God, 100%. But now in Mumbai, do you have like a go-to spot or something? Now that you've been in the city for so many years, कोई favorite जगह?
I think my go-to spot is Mount Mary's. I just love going there. There's an inherent peace, and एक अलग वो है कि आप वो एक मुंबईया चीज़ है बहुत खूबसूरत कि आप किसी भी वक्त जाओ, आधी रात को जाओ, 2 बजे जाओ, आप जा सकते हो. And you can just sit on those steps and just be. And I really love that place very much. And of course, I love going to Prithvi. That is my go-to place to just sit and chat and do masti. and of course I'm right next to the beach. So going there for morning walks and all that, I think is great.
Amazing, amazing. Just very curious. I saw in some video that you now have a different place in Mumbai that you.
Yes, I shifted.
What's do you have a name to your house? Random question.
यार नेम तो ऐसे नहीं रखा है, हमने दत्ता जी लिख दिया, बड़ी जिंदगी सिंपल सी। लेकिन जो मेरा सबसे पहला घर था उसको मैंने बहुत रोमांटिसाइज करके लिखा था आर नेस्ट।
Oh my
तो
God.
वो उसमें जितने भी किराएदार गए वो सब गए, मैंने कहा आर नेस्ट नहीं हटेगा, तुमको जो नीचे लिखना है तुम लिख दो। That will remain. But I think for me it's always that. I think house is always, not I think everyone thinks house is made of people and little tinkas that we bring in of all kinds of emotions, all kind of love and whatever we can do for each other. So मुझे लगता है वो तिनके हैं और हमें घरौंदा बनाते हैं.
That's so well said. Oh my God. Okay. I want to also ask you that you did TV, you did films. Now there are of course the OTT platforms and web series and web shows. Zyada comfortable? Is there a space more comfortable than the other?
I don't think it really matters much to an actor. Directors को फर्क पड़ता होगा क्योंकि when you're making 8 episodes or 10 episodes vis-a-vis you're making a feature of 2 hours, तो time span बढ़ जाता है आपका. So it's for actors, I think you're doing a role. You're working with a good director. You're working with a good star cast, if I may say so. And yeah, that's about it. You just, I feel mediums actors के लिए बदलते रहें, लेकिन if you're enjoying your role and who you're working with, the journey is always beautiful.
Yeah, but do you think like there's any platform that does more justice to your potential as an actress?
ऐसा होता है क्या?
Just asking. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
You know, I just went to Kolkata just now, and I met so many people who said, we saw your short film where this was called The Sleeping Partner, and another one. I said, मैं तो feature films बोलती हूँ, मैं OTT बोलती हूँ, यहाँ इन्होंने short film देख के कहा, and not one, so many, and all of them had seen that short film. So I think wherever you've done something and have done it from your heart, it never goes unnoticed. Yeah. So I just feel you should just go out there and have a blast and enjoy. Be theatre. Theatre का अपना मज़ा है. Live audience. अब मैं motivational talks करती हूँ, उसका अपना मज़ा है. I just see people looking up to you and they're like sitting and they have so many questions and queries to ask. और मुझे लगता है I am healing myself अभी. मैं खुद टूटा, मतलब हर कोई टूटा है कहीं ना कहीं. लेकिन this is so lovely that you've taken on a new role, because my book now is considered a book of gratitude, The Stars in My Sky, because हम लोग क्या करते हैं, बहुत voyeuristic हो जाते हैं. अच्छा बताओ तुम्हारी इंडस्ट्री में किसका किसके साथ चल रहा है, अच्छा ये बताओ, अच्छा तुम्हारे साथ तो ऐसा ज़रूर हुआ होगा. They don't see there are so many people you meet in your journey who you ought to be very thankful to for having done maybe just a little thing for you, but वो कितने मायने रख गई आपकी पूरी ज़िंदगी में. So this book of mine has chapters on each of them that I have been very grateful to. And so these different roles that have come my way, be it an author, be it an actor on OTT, an actor in features, I've enjoyed it all. I've enjoyed watching my films with the audience. I still remember I just caught hold of Sonu Nigam. He's my bestie. उसको मैंने चल मेरे साथ फिल्म देखने, हम स्टैनली का डब्बा देखने गए और हम दोनों ऐसे पीछे बैठे हुए हैं और हाउसफुल शो और एंड में स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन उस फिल्म में. Nobody knew we were there behind, but
you witnessed
to
it.
see that. And then to witness something similar in a theatre when you've performed. I've gone and performed with Om Puri. I did this Punjabi play called Teri Amrita. And different kinds of audience. और हर बार आप जब एक line बोलते थे उसको एक अलग reaction मिलता था. And to see people cry with you. And when you go and meet them and then they will say, you know, we watch your films because we know you're there. And you'll do something different. And मुझे लगता है ना मेरी बच्ची है. I love these compliments. I mean, I think this is my earning rather than just say admiration बहुत मुश्किल होती है. Stardom फिर भी आसान होता है.
So well said. My God, so well said. From the perspective of the performer, जब लोग आते हैं and they are overwhelmed with their emotions, how does it feel to be in that spot where someone just comes and hugs you as if they've known you since forever?
It feels beautiful and very gratifying, and that people relate to you and love you for what you have done, and that probably has impacted their lives in different ways. I remember when I had started writing my weekly columns for a newspaper, I was performing this play, and after the play, this woman just walked up on stage, about a 70-year-old, and she just came up and hugged me tight. And I was like, she's like, of course, liked the performance. And she got off and she just said, performances तो मुझे तुम्हारी बहुत अच्छी लगती हैं, लेकिन तुमने जो कॉलम लिखा था ना, मैं उसके लिए तुम्हें शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ बेटा. I said, which column, auntie? She said, you'd once written that just make best friends with yourself, otherwise don't let life pass. And she said, I've always been waiting for my husband to take me out, कि मेरे बच्चे बड़े हो गए, वो ले जाएंगे, but सब अपने अपना busy हैं. She said, मैंने वो पढ़ा, मुझे लगा मैं तो हुने ही निकल जानी है. And then she booked herself a ticket, and then she went and she said thank you because it was very liberating for me. So it feels nice that you are a very integral, maybe small, but yet a very integral part of people's lives, as an actor, as an author, as whoever, whichever role I take. And so yeah, I am grateful that I belong to a place where हमारे यहाँ तो actors को बहुत प्यार करते हैं, actors, cricketers, everything, they are like there. So it feels nice to be the fortunate one.
Absolutely. I also want to ask you, because a lot of changes are happening in the industry in terms of the content choices that people are making, the stories that people are wanting to tell. जो मे बी एक टाइम पे लोग सोचते होंगे कि ये बहुत ही पर्सनल है, किसी की स्टोरी ये नहीं बतानी चाहिए, बट नाउ द मोर पर्सनल इट इज, द मोर यूनिवर्सल इट इज गेटिंग. And at the same time, the Bollywood industry is also opening up to other talents from other parts of India. I don't even know whether we should be calling them other talents, because talent does not really have any region, but let's say geographically from different parts of India. Do you think this is a very positive way ahead?
It's amazing. I think now we live in a world of OTTs, which is a very democratic platform, where you have a superstar as well, where you have good actors, where you have a rank newcomer, and you decide what you want to see. और तुम्हें अगर बीच में छोड़ना नहीं पसंद आया तो तुम एक चीज़ छोड़ के दूसरी देख लेते हो. Where you have now casting directors who नहीं तो हम वही 2-4 नाम सोचते थे कि अच्छा इसके लिए उसको बुला लो, वो पिक्चर में थे ना. अब वैसा नहीं होता है. अब होता है कि okay, now let's figure out. I was sitting for a casting thingy because I was already doing that film, and they said इस role के लिए किसको लें? It was one of the lead roles. And they said वो लड़का था ना जो छोटा सा रोल किया था उसने उसमें, that Bengali boy, उसको ले लेते हैं. So I was thinking times have actually changed, because now they are not bothered that this boy has done a smaller role before, or how does it matter to my project. It's a nice thing that we are taking people from where they belong for the roles that are meant for them. And it is good that that line is diminishing now of these regions that we had made. Now the South films are doing very well. I've just done a Malayalam film.
Wow.
You see a KGF where you see a Sanjay Dutt, you see a Raveena Tandon, you see Ajay Devgan in an RRR, you see Alia in an RRR. So it's beautiful, and why not? It's lovely to make beautiful products with grandeur, with great storytelling. And I think the main reason for all this is that the audience has changed. They are open to seeing things the way they are, and maybe expect beautiful storytelling, whatever it might be.
Yeah. On the same note, I also want to ask you, Pathaan released, and before Pathaan there were people talking about boycott Bollywood and whatnot. And then after Pathaan, there was another group of people talking about, oh, Bollywood is back, and back with a blast, and how, and blah blah blah. So a lot of conversations happening around this entire scene of before and after, and what would happen now. And people have become even more aware of, they want to see now, अब क्या आएगा, क्योंकि अब हम इसे कैसे receive करेंगे. How do you look at it, Divya?
I look at it as this, that there's a certain sect of people who work. There are very small little sect of people who you don't even know who they are. कौन है क्या पता, लेकिन वो बॉयकॉट भी कर देते हैं. अब उन्होंने बॉयकॉट किया, लेकिन वो कौन थे जिन्होंने फिल्म देखी और उन्होंने हिट बनाई. So I think you should just continue doing your work. Films will be hits, film will be flops. They are films, that's business. Yes, we can go wrong sometimes. Yes, we can correct it also, but you don't need to be trolled or boycotted for that. So I think of course criticize करें, लेकिन एक अच्छे तरीके से अगर पता चले, ये भी ध्यान रखें कि जो फिल्म बना रहे हैं there's so many people behind it, सबके घर चल रहे हैं उससे, मेहनत का काम है. तो अगर कुछ नहीं अच्छा लगा तो ज़रूर बताएं, लेकिन boycott, so I think it's just gone, it's naturally it's gone. उसके लिए किसी को कुछ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, ना वेट करने की ज़रूरत है. अब आगे क्या होगा, just leave it, just do your work. I think that's the best.
My last question is about something that's very close to your heart, of course, the books that you've written and channeled your creativity in different ways, be it on screen, be it in front of the camera, be it in theatre, and now of course in writing as well. I want to ask you, I heard that you also published a book about poetry that your mom had written back then.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that and how the writing journey has been?
So that was the very first book that we had published. That's called Tanhaiyan. And as I told you, my mother was a single parent. And अब हम लोग रहते थे छोटे से टाउन में, सानेवाल, जहाँ धर्मेंद्र जी also belongs to the same town. So she was a civil surgeon there. And being a small town, there weren't many social circle friends for her. Nobody that she could talk to or pour her heart to. मैं थी छोटी बच्ची, मेरा भाई मुझसे भी छोटा, so कितना ही बात कर लेती बच्चों से. So I would sometimes see her having disappeared somewhere. हम लोग खेल रहे हैं, गप्पे मार रहे हैं, and we were a complete family, the three of us as such. But sometimes I would see she'd gone somewhere, and I would see that she was writing something. And she would write, and then she would just crumple it and throw it in the dustbin. तो तब से मैं और मेरा भाई we used to keep those papers, we used to read कि यार ये तो अच्छी पोइट्री है. उस टाइम उन लाइन्स की डेप्थ शायद नहीं पता थी, बड़े हुए तो पता चली. When she had her birthday and I was an actor that time, I said चलो अपने एक्टर होने का वो करते हैं. ममा बर्थडे गिफ्ट, योर बुक इज़ पब्लिशिंग. तो हमने कहाँ से, अब मैं तब भी नई थी, आई वाज न्यू. एंड तो जो मेरे लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज थे, जो मेरे दोस्त थे, और फिर मैंने सुनील दत्त साहब को फ़ोन किया, और उस टाइम मेरे पास मोबाइल नहीं था. सो आई कॉल्ड हिम, आई सेड सर मैं ना मम्मी की बुक रिलीज़ कर रही हूँ, आप चीफ गेस्ट आओगे. सो स्वीटली, एंड ही इज़ लाइक हाँ बेटा मैं ज़रूर आऊँगा. सो लाइक वेरी गुड. अब मेरे को ये एप्रीहेंशन वो थी ना जैसे पंजाबी वो टिपिकल, तो मैं कहा मैं फ़ोन करूँ दोबारा कंफर्म करने को तो बुरा मान जाएंगे. तो आई नाइसली वेटेड ऑन फॉर माई ममाज बर्थडे. सारे लोग हमने बुला लिए, जितनों को जानते थे हमने बुला लिया. अब मैंने कन्फर्मेशन तो लिया ही नहीं है सुनील दत्त साहब से कि आ रहे हो कि नहीं, बिकॉज आई वाज सो टेंस कि बुरा मान जाएंगे. एंड देन एज द क्लॉक स्ट्रक 6, हम तीनों, मेरी मम्मी ने मुझे आके इतना डांटा. शी सेड इतना नर्वस बर्थडे कर दिया तूने, इससे अच्छा तो कहीं पार्टी करा देती.
There's performance pressure now.
क्या होगा अगर नहीं आए तो क्या होगा. और मुझे पसीने आ रहे हैं, वहाँ सब आ गए गेस्ट वगैरह. हाँ जी वेरी हैप्पी. At sharp 6 his car stopped and he came. And it was I think by far for me a day when my mother was truly happy, where her poems just came out, where she read them, where she actually did what she really wanted to do, I think. And that's why maybe she let me fly high, because she always wanted to write or do something like that, and she became a doctor. And so she said मैं नहीं चाहती कि मेरी बेटी कल को मुझे ये कहे कि मैंने उसे वो नहीं करने दिया जो करना चाहती थी. Yeah, so that happened. And then another book we launched for her, which was a short story book. And then when she left, I thought I must celebrate her. And then it was a catharsis for me too, because I was going on totally pushing this topic that I can manage, but I couldn't, obviously. I was so much in store of having lost my best friend. And so I celebrated her writing this book called Me and Ma. And that really reached out beautifully to the readers. And then thankfully I wasn't a one book wonder. And then I made my second book, The Stars in My Sky. And I hope I will, with some another genre, just write something else.
Absolutely. Wow, I don't know what to say, to be honest, right now. We got to know so much about you, and so much about beyond, of course, not just the actress Divya Dutta that we see on screen and the roles that you do, but a lot more that you have as a person. And I genuinely feel very fortunate to have had this opportunity.
My pleasure, absolutely. It's lovely to talk heart to heart, and
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.